It's a chilly December night in Madison, Wisconsin, home to one of the few remaining unbeaten teams in college basketball. The Badgers are playing some big-time ball, but now a test as Big Ten play begins, and they welcome in the Michigan Wolverines, winners of 5 in a row, to the Kohl Center. Should be a fun matchup here tonight. We welcome you courtside. Noah Eagle, Robbie Hummel, glad to have you along for the ride. Two teams that are just playing some really good ball early in the season.
There's no doubt. What an opportunity for both these teams here as we get started in Big Ten play. Big wins over Thanksgiving for both the Badgers and the Wolverines. But you said it, two teams that are playing at a high level, and a lot on the line here tonight as Big Ten play gets underway.
It helps when you play at a high level if your star is playing at his highest level. And right now, Wisconsin boasts one of the best transfers in the entire country.
There's no doubt, Noah. You could make the case that John Tonje is the best transfer in all of college basketball, averaging under 23 points a game, good for 7th nationally. This dude has lived at the foul line. A physical driver, can make shots from the perimeter, but leads the country in free throws made, second in free throws attempted. He has been tremendous for Greg Gard's team, and a guy that comes out of the portal, only played 8 games last year at Missouri. He's been fabulous here in Madison.
The free throw numbers are out of this world for Tonje, and it feels like when they need a big bucket, he can step up and deliver that big bucket. He's going to have a tall task ahead because Michigan has won 5 games in a row for good measure. The defense has been impressive, and you just never quite know what you're going to get with a first-year head coach. But Dusty May's a winner, and this team has certainly responded.
No doubt. And I think the defensive part of this has been a little bit surprising. You look at the way the roster was constructed, and we were all thinking, all right, offensively they're going to be able to go, but the defense has been tremendous, and then the offense, the balance is what sticks out. You've got 6 or 7 guys that on any given night can really hurt you, and on top of that, the skill that's on the floor, the shooting that's on the floor. Even Vlad Golden has made a 3 this season. There are 5 guys at all times that can hurt you from the perimeter, and Dusty May is trying to go. They are playing with tempo in Ann Arbor this year.
First year for May, yes, Vlad Golden is 100% from 3 in his career, 1 for 1 after knocking down a 3. And you might say, oh, they blew out Xavier in the last game. Must have been at the end of the game. It was like 2 minutes into the game. He just let it fly, let it fire, and knocked it through. So you expect both these teams to come out and play fast. That's how they both played through the season, to shoot a lot. That man right there, a 7-footer who has showed his range, showed his versatility. Danny Wolf, the transfer from Yale, will be one of 4 7-footers in the starting lineup here tonight.
Back to 1985. Here we come.
Yeah. Where's Ralph Sampson? He's feeling real good right now. Our officials tonight, Brian Dorsey, Michael Reed, and Vern Harris. As we're underway from the Kohl Center, Wisconsin couldn't claim it. Michigan has it. And the Big Ten has begun for both of these teams. Dusty May's first Big Ten game as Michigan head coach, back to his roots. Burnett, one of the few holdovers for this Wolverine roster. Around the horn it goes. Trey Donaldson has led the way, 13 points per game along with 4 assists. Wolf on the outside. Greg Gard called him a 7-foot point guard this week. Gale, the Ohio State transfer, stops, pulls, no, rebound inside, goes to Crowell.
Really good defensive possession there by Wisconsin, just guarding every action. Ball moves from side to side, contained the bounce. Good start for the Badgers on that end of the floor.
8-0, best start for them in over a decade, since the 13-14 season when they started 16-0. Blackwell on the outside off the screen. Through traffic, Blackwell well short, well defended as well, as it's ricocheted out of bounds, staying here.
And that's something that Danny Wolf, I think, has done much better than what was anticipated. He transfers over from Yale. Everyone's thinking, all right, offensively, super talented, ability to handle the basketball, but he's moved his feet and been able to switch and guard guards. And they're going against John Blackwell, a guy that can get to the rim. He contains the bounce and gets a good contest.
Only 5 on the shot clock, get it in as Crowell recognizes it. He's going to have to put it up. Klesmit will. A deep one. Can't bank it in. Rebound. Winter inside. Puts it up and in.
Boy, he showed some flashes last year, Noah, that he could be a good player in this league. And that's happening before our eyes. 3 straight games in double figures. And he's getting the assignment now, checking Danny Wolf.
He's shooting nearly 70% from the floor. Engulfed there by Winter. Gets it done on both ends. Now Wisconsin looking to set their offense up.
Michigan's going to have to guard a ton of pick and rolls. Wisconsin, it's that ball screen motion. You got to be solid as that ball moves from side to side.
Winter can't hit that time, and Burnett clears the board. Both these teams will spread the floor despite the 2 7-footers. Shovel it inside. Golden extra pass and a nice finish for Wolf.
That's not easy either. And that close quarters passing, Vlad Golden, that's that flow in transition. Golden coming to a jump stop and just diming up Danny Wolf under the rim.
It feels like we're going to see so much of the offense dictated from that mid-post area.
No question.
On both sides of the floor. Prowl around Atonje, averaging 23 points per game this year.
Look at the
Facilitates
physicality.
inside, and it's blocked. Wolf came in on the help. Gale, leave it. The trailer is Wolf. Hands are right back to Gale. Burnett looking for Golden inside with position. Can't finish.
Probably a little bit lucky there. You gamble and give up an angle. Coming off his best game as a Michigan Wolverine.
18 points, 5 rebounds for Golden, the transfer from FAU coming over with his head coach. Tonje dancing on Wolf. Tonje caught up. Around, Prowl thought about it. It looked for him to be more aggressive offensively. He's been great spreading the ball around, leading the team in assists. Tonje laces the three.
This dude's shooting 43% from threes, limited the foul line. He's been good at the rim. He's a physical driver. John Tonje's season just continues to impress.
Gale can't respond. Added to the outside. Second chance for Donaldson who will hoist. Off the heel, rebound Tonje. Wisconsin looking to extend this early lead. Prowl looks around. They run the offense so much through their 5-man, mostly because he is such a talented passer. 3.5 assists per game so far this year. Have the shot clock gone for Tonje on the drive. Tonje, physical. Not that time. Rebound, batted to the outside. Blackwell.
No one from Michigan went and got the ball. Guys blocking out, but you got to secure the rebound.
Blackwell blocked again. Wolf with a second.
I think that's something to watch for this Michigan defense. Even though Wisconsin not known for their offensive rebounding over the last 30 years, it's been an issue for the Wolverines. And think about this, for a team that's ranked in the top 10 in defensive efficiency nationally, they haven't been great rebounding the ball, and they've turned it over a lot on offense. You clean those things up, this defense could be really scary.
6 to shoot now for Corral. He'll get it to Tonje. He'll have to force it.
Good hands.
Knocked away and taken away by Reuben Jones. Just checked in for Gale. Lob it up. Knocked again. Tonje, but it finds Donaldson who couldn't finish. Third chance here for Michigan. 15 to shoot for Donaldson. Screen from Golden. Now Wolf working on Winter. The cross, the spin, bounce. Golden, 5 to shoot. Back down on Prowl. Golden forced it in, and he's fouled. Just under 16 to play in this first half. Slow start offensively for these two in the opening to Big Ten play. 5-2 lead early on for Wisconsin. Ten basketball is brought to you by Xfinity. Stream sports with Xfinity because it's only live once. And by Discover. Discover, the official credit card of the Big Ten Conference. Dusty May, Greg Gard, both doused after tournament victories for Michigan. It was in Fort Myers for Wisconsin at Greenbrier. Also, how about the championship belt?
Love that.
He looks like a wrestler who just could never quite get over the hump against Hulk Hogan, you know?
Not if he's got the belt, he clearly got over the hump.
You're right, he found a way. But nice starts to the season for both teams, and for Michigan, their first holiday tournament victory since 2019, the battle for Atlantis.
Well, and Xavier is no joke.
Yeah.
Talent-wise, you look at their guard play, and they have a lot of new faces that they're having to kind of mesh together. But look at what Pitt was able to do, to go into Columbus and beat Ohio State, even down Damian Dunn, who got hurt in that Wisconsin final out of the Greenbrier. Two really good wins, and I have to think both these teams coming off those playing with a ton of confidence.
Michigan in the midst of a 5 of 6 away from home, including 7 of 10 overall. And at 6-1, winners of 5 in a row. They're playing their best ball this early season. Klesmit counts it. Winter had it blocked inside. Golden gummed him at the rim. Donaldson, leave it. Burnett, no hesitation for 3.
That's that defense leading to offense. And Vlad Golden, 7'5" wingspan. We've seen him get a couple deflections. Now meeting Winter at the summit. That's a tremendous block.
Already 4 blocks for this Michigan defense. Winter, leave it for Blackwell. Averaging 15 points per game on 46% shooting. Wolf steps up. Now it's Crowell on the outside. His 3 ball is short.
It's looked flat all year long. It's just looked a little bit different. Now Stephen Crowell just 2 of 9 from 3 on the year.
Wolf can't show off his range. So another slow start in terms of shooting for both teams. 2 of 10 for Wisconsin, 2 for 8 for Michigan. And that's a nice J for Blackwell.
But the physicality, I mean, Damari Burnett just gets knocked off his spot. John Blackwell creating a ton of space with that physical dribble drive.
Curious to see how his role continues to develop over the course of the season now as a sophomore.
Think about last year. They ran no plays for him. It was all catch and shoot threes, offensive rebounds. How are you as a cutter? And he is a really good one off the ball. But now playing pick and roll and a main cog in this offense.
Tanjay looking for Crowell, and he's fouled by Wolf away from the ball. Blackwell, Big Ten all-freshman team, averaged 8 points per game last year, shot 45% from 3. We know that he can stroke it. The question becomes, how can he continue to grow his game outside of that?
Well, in terms of looking at his pick and roll usage this season, last year only 15% of his possessions resulted in pick and roll. This year, that thing has gone all the way up to 24. And his efficiency in that regard has gone up as well. Blackwell, I loved his game last year because he just fit in. But now, alongside John Tanjay, Stephen Crowell, Max Klesmit, he's one of the alphas of this offense.
Changes on both sides. Cheddar and Sam Walters will check in for Michigan. Gale back on the floor with Donaldson and Reuben Jones. Klesmit kick out. Carter Gilmore in the game and in the scoring column.
That's a career 15% three-point shooter who hasn't shot the ball well this year. That's his first 3 of the year.
Gale sneaky inside, can't finish. Cheddar on the offensive board. Always delivering energy and delivers the bucket.
Will Cheddar, he lost a ton of weight, and he is just playing with a ton of confidence, shooting it, obviously making plays, getting on the offensive glass.
He also lost a ton of hair. Just doesn't feel the same.
The flow is gone.
Less salad as Klesmit comes up short. Kamari McGee also in the game for Wisconsin. Donaldson will speed it up the floor. Left alone, he'll leave it for Walters instead.
I thought Donaldson should have let that go.
Donaldson shooting the ball 48% from 3. That's a wild attempt and way off.
Walters continues to struggle with his shooting. 0 for 6 from 3 in Florida.
The cross and the foul drawn. Blackwell with a nice, confident move to draw the contact on Jones.
Wisconsin playing substantially faster this season. When they see opportunities, if it's Blackwell, it's Tanjay, Klesmit, those guys can force the issue and push the tempo. Kind of lulls you to sleep with that crossover and then just kind of a cannon to the rim.
Much faster pace for sure as Blackwell knocks down the free throw, and Tanjay will check back in for Winter. Jack Janicki in there as well for Klesmit. The key in all of that is, can you play fast without turning it over? And that's what they've done. Second fewest turnovers per game in the Big Ten.
It's been a staple of this program, but also a tempo in like the 340s of college basketball has been a staple as well. I think you got to give credit to Greg Gard for evolving. They're shooting a bunch of threes. They're playing much faster. They've gone away from the swing. It's a lot of that ball screen motion, but as college basketball is changing, Greg Gard has too.
A steal. Tonje to the rim. John Tonje upstairs. He can do it all for the Badgers. Crowd now involved. Cheddar caught up. Defense suffocating. Jones outside. Donaldson open. Can't hit the three. Long rebound. Gilmore with the hustle. He lost it. Donaldson, the drive. Hangs. Can't hit. Rebound Blackwell. Donaldson's down.
He's got an open three and passed up on that to take a contested one at the rim.
Blackwell up and under is fouled. Cheddar's going to pick it up, and Blackwell will shoot two more.
Well, John Tonje is just shooting through this passing lane, and it's just off to the races, but it looks like he's going to lay it up, and he turns this thing over and just goes for the hammer. And here's Donaldson. I mean, you got opportunities to take this shot. That is perfect verticality from John Blackwell. He's going straight up. If I'm Trey Donaldson, I'm catching that thing. I'm surveying the floor and seeing I've got a wide open three. That's the second one, Noah, that we've seen him pass up.
For a guy who shot it as well as he has, the leading scorer on this team now, he's done most of his damage in the second half this year, averaging 8.5 points per game in the second half, as compared to just about 5, a little less than 5 in the first half. Wisconsin now an 11-2 run. They're 4 for 4 at the free throw line, all coming from Blackwell, best free throw shooting team in the country. And now Blackwell will get a deserved rest with Klesmit back in there. LJ Cason, the talented freshman out there for Michigan. Gale cut up and out of bounds.
Good job by Klesmit. He's trying to get turned down. Roddy Gale just going away from that ball screen. Klesmit wasn't having it. At times throughout Gale's career, he's had some issues turning the basketball over.
Wisconsin wasn't happy with the way they started the game, really the entire first half against Chicago State. Eventually won by 21. It was a 17-3 run to start the second half that spurred it. Gilmore already hit one. McGee hasn't been as shy so far this season. Gilmore thought about it. Around to Klesmit. 6 to shoot. Klesmit circles. And he's fouled. It's going to be Cason. 11:52 to play in this first half, and John Tonje already electrifying the crowd.
Well, we know he can get to the rim, and he's doing it here in transition in a big, big way. Defense leading to offense. John Tonje going upstairs and throwing down.
Are done with true crime, but true crime isn't done with them. Haley Cuoco and Chris Messina are back in a new season of Based on a True Story, streaming now only on Peacock. Well, we mentioned this. Wisconsin has gotten quicker with how they've played the game. Greg Gard has adapted to the modern game, and you see it in their ranked Ken Palm. Now, they're not necessarily setting the world on fire and being the fastest team in the country.
No, but this is way faster than what we've seen. There was kind of the anomaly Johnny Davis year where they played faster, and they were in like the 200s of tempo. But this has been clearly a concerted effort, and I think that Kirk Penny deserves a lot of credit for coming over, some of his influence of overseas basketball. But you also have to give Greg Gard credit for being willing to adapt to this new style. And they've been terrific offensively this year.
First miss at the free throw line for Wisconsin, who shoots 86.4% as a team. McGee steps up on Kaysen, who gets caught up in the paint. Now Wolf back on the floor along with Golden on the outside. Wolf, Kaysen will fire. Can't hit. Rebound to Klesman. Michigan has missed 4 in a row and 7 of its last 8 from the floor. Klesman on the attack. Using the body. Bounce it. Knocked away by Wolf.
Good help there by Danny Wolf.
Kaysen on a mission. Inside, and Wolf is fouled.
Danny Wolf with that little tap there, the help defense, right place, and then it's off to the races. LJ Kaysen, a guy that's not going to be afraid. As a freshman, he is going to get in the mix, get downhill. Wolf running the floor, and LJ Kaysen, as all good point guards do, finding and rewarding his big.
So Wolf will shoot a pair. Just 59% from the free throw line so far this season, which is a little surprising given his touch both inside and outside. I know it's 32% from 3, but he's taken some tough ones. He's willing to take those difficult threes, and that's what his coach wants out of his really star forward, center, whatever you want to call him at this point in the season.
It was interesting to talk to Dusty May today because some of the turnover numbers with Danny Wolf are a bit jarring. You've got 5 games or 4 turnovers or more. And I think back to the way that Evan Turner was coached in his time in Ohio State, where Thad Matta was like, make plays and we'll live with the turnovers. I don't know if it's that extreme the way that May is coaching him, but he's certainly willing to live with him being aggressive.
I feel like he's done a better job cleaning it up the last couple of games as Klesman circles. Janicki with an extra feed now inside for Crowell. Back down with 10. Working on Golden. Crowell.
Good footwork right there.
Can't finish.
Everything but though. Got a pretty good look.
Now Wolf in transition. Golden. Is he going to be 2 for 2? His first miss. That's a little disappointing. Wolf inside on the second chance. I mean, if I were 100% of my career.
Just never shoot again?
No, I think I would. I think I would keep it. That ends 3+ minutes without a field goal for Michigan, as they're back within 5. Klesman lost it, and it'll stay here. Winter and Blackwell will check back in. Janicki and McGee will sit. So Klesman, Winter, Crowell, Tonje, and Blackwell the starting 5 for Wisconsin. You've got Wolf, Golden, Burnett, Gale, and Jones for Michigan. Half the shot clock gone now for Blackwell. Trying to get it inside for Crowell. They do foul on extended. A lot of cutting around them. Blackwell off the screen. Step back, 3 ball. No. Golden corrals the board.
Both teams, good shooting teams on the year, but that's not been the case. There's been looks out there and just nothing going down from the 3-point line for Michigan or Wisconsin.
Burnett, shovel, Gale, inside. Golden's too big.
That's just too slow on the rotation there. Wisconsin trapping them on the sideline. That's the case. You've got to get back to your man. Nicely done. That pass down low.
6 straight now for the Wolverines. Crowell thought about it. Now Tonje on the attack. Tonje bodies up. Tried the wraparound. Instead, it's Klesman. Can't hit the 3. Long rebound. Jones pushing the pace. Jones the fake. Jones is stripped. And a foul going to be called on Tonje.
For the Badgers, you're going to have 2 on the ball, and you can see Stephen Crowell right here just a little bit late getting back to Vlad Golden. He's pretty extended. That's where your help defense has got to come into play. Got to hang out there until he's back, and if you don't, it's going to be a dunk.
Michigan's starting to get to the free throw line themselves. The 5th and 6th attempts of this first half. Carter Gilmore is going to check back in for Crowell. And there was a lot of emphasis on Crowell remaining aggressive, looking for his own shot, especially here tonight with the 2 7-footers on the other side. And so far, Crowell is 0 for 2.
We've heard that for a couple of years.
Yeah.
I mean, Greg Gard has been adamant that he is on Steven Crowell to look for his own offense.
Tanjay. I mean, sometimes it's like Waldo. It can be hard to follow, you know. It's just, you just have to keep searching. Jones is going to pick up the foul. That'll lead way for Donaldson to check back in.
John Tanjay doesn't need any help drawing fouls. You reach in and give one away. I mean, and luckily for Michigan, you're not in the bonus, but it's one where if you're Reuben Jones, you're just trying to be solid.
Here is Tanjay on the spin.
There you go.
Right on cue. It was funny when you asked Greg Gard, you know, what surprised you about John Tanjay? He was like, his ability to draw fouls.
I guess that was like such an obvious response that I was hoping for something else. But it is at an insane rate. I mean, you look at the numbers nationally in free throws made and attempted. You look at his fouls drawn per 40. He's in the top 10 nationally in that regard. But he's a physical driver. And that's like seeing a ghost right there.
Well, we saw it during the shoot-around. We said, oh, he got his miss out for the day.
Today. We're like, what's wrong with this guy?
He's shooting 95% from the line. He's 8.6 free throws made per game, #1 in the nation. 1.5 per game higher than anybody else. That is remarkable. Gets it back to a 3-point cushion. Just under 9 to play in this first half. Opening a Big Ten play for these two teams as Wolf tried to get it inside for Golden. He was dragged down by Gilmore.
I love it. We've seen this from Purdue this year with some inverted pick and roll, but here you've got the big on big ball screen, and it's just like Danny Wolf wheel and deal. Purdue's done it some with Trey Kaufman Red, but here comes the ball screen. It's so hard because you see how Golden gets out of that screen so quickly. You're trying to switch, but you're on top, and that's where Wolf can throw over the top. It's a really tough guard.
It does feel like those two are really getting comfortable with each other, especially the last 3 games or so.
Fake.
Fake. Golden! Wow! Look out! He caught a body inside.
That had some Tom Chambers like boosted up type vibes right there.
Mark
That's
Jackson is
cringing
cringing right now. Blackwell with the bounce. A couple of impressive slams on either side so far in this first half. Winter left all alone. Shooting practice.
Shooting the first time, though. I don't know if he mishandled that, but Nolan Winter's got to just let that fly. It's a clean catch. That's got to go up.
Wolf leaves it for Gold. He's looking for more.
I think he likes that fake ball.
He's licking his chops. Gale around Burnett. Not there for 3. Good box out by Gilmore.
Both teams have had open looks from 3.
Bounce it. Tanjay inside. Can't finish. Rebound poked around. Donaldson secures. Numbers if he hurries. Donaldson, swing it. Burnett, same spot, same result. Back tap. Wolf got it to Donaldson. And they'll reload and slow it down. Wolf left alone. Now Hull hoist. And hit a 3.
You got to get back to Danny Wolf. Shot it a little bit uncharacteristically, you could say, early in the year, but knocked down 4 triples in the win against Xavier. No one getting out from Wisconsin, and Danny Wolf makes him pay for it.
12-1 run for Michigan to take this lead. Tanjay bounce it inside. Oh, Wolf erased it at the rim.
Well, the rim protection from Golden and Wolf here these last few possessions has been tremendous.
Wolf on the outside. Golden posting Winter. They get it to him. He wants the clear out. Golden's been aggressive. Step through. Can't finish. Back tap, and Wolf just could not guide it to Burnett. Explosive stuff so far from both teams.
The Michigan bigs making plays here. Vlad Golden faked this dribble handoff and then just go and tear the rim off right on top of Carter Gilmore. And you think you got an easy one. Boy, Golden, that's big time.
Obviously, there's I guess, a feeling of how tough it is to win at Wisconsin and how infrequently teams win there. It's a cumulative effort, and as far as my experience at Indiana, nothing more than just sitting there first row thinking, man, this is very daunting at times. But we built this roster to be in position to win games like this.
Dusty May, first year in the Big Ten as a head coach, student manager in his college days at Indiana. Tanjay in and out for three. Rebound inside, vacuumed in. Crowell couldn't finish. And then up for grabs. Just in the game, Xavier Amos will get free throws. He's talking about his first time now playing at the Kohl Center as a Big Ten head coach, remembering what it was like back in the late 90s. He said he's really relied on guys like Roddy Gale and the guys who have been here last year, Burnett, Cheddar, those types. Look at this outfit. The late 90s is strong with Dusty May.
You think those pants were bought at Gap?
I do. I feel very strongly, actually, that those were Gap pants.
But this, I mean, you think about it, that was your last time here. This building over the years has been very daunting. For so long, no Big Ten team won here until the D. Brown, Darren Williams group was able to come in and break that streak. Bo Ryan had this thing on lockdown. And when you came in here, you understood, man, you're going to have to play almost a perfect game to win.
They've continued that the last two seasons, 20-3 since the start of last year at the Kohl Center. Only losses coming to ranked opponents, Tennessee, Purdue, and Illinois last year. Already beat Arizona on this court and stormed it a couple weeks ago. Cheddar's three, not there. McGee will run the show for Wisconsin. Amos is not shy for letting it fly.
Bashful.
And that's going to be an offensive foul on Tanjay. Burnett beat him to the spot.
Amari Burnett just moving his feet right there. John Tanjay loves to turn ball screens down. I think that probably could have been a block, honestly. That's a tough one to go against Tanjay, but it is understanding the scouting report if you're Burnett.
And it's the second on Tanjay, which is something to monitor. And Greg Gard won't take his chances with a star player. He'll send him to the bench. So Tanjay, a quiet first half by his standards, just 6 points so far, 2 of 6 shooting. Cheddar, leave it, Walters. Now Burnett and Gale, everybody getting a touch on this possession. 10 to shoot, Gale makes his attack, hooks it inside and turns it over.
It's the right idea, but it's just a pass that's thrown at the feet of Will Cheddar. Dusty May, he talked about it with us. Roddy Gale at times gets in trouble by over-dribbling, taking one too many. This has been a big problem for the Wolverines all season long. They're averaging 15 turnovers a game. I mean, you see it. If Cheddar makes that, if that's a good pass, it's probably going to be a layup. But you throw that at the big fella's feet, there's just no way he's going to catch that.
Right idea, wrong execution. And it lands Cheddar on the bench with another personal foul.
How about what Dusty May told us today, though, about the running? He told us that he's never been a punishment coach where you turn it over in practice and you have to run, but he started to be a punishment coach this week.
Yeah, look.
But the turnovers and the Xavier, you only have 10 in the game. That's a very reasonable number, and it's probably why they end up winning the game by so much. But some of these turnovers have been, ridiculous.
To be fair, he really did say it was the inexcusable type of turnovers.
The pick sixes, the lack of focus ones. Yes, those are the ones. He can live with the ones where it's the right play, just execution a little bit off, but they do need to be better. And you're trying to play fast. It's hard to take care of it, but they've got to be better than they've been.
Wisconsin back up by 1 under 6 to play in this first half. Donaldson probes inside. Golden couldn't finish it.
Pass. It's right there at the rim.
Donaldson late to recover. Blackwell, no real numbers. Now he'll slow it down. Screen from Crowell. Blackwell inside. Bounce it. Crowell the finish.
Boy, that's just a tremendous look. Yeah, good understanding by John Blackwell that Vlad Golden is coming over just under 2 blocks a game this season. He's protecting the rim, so he drops it off to Steven Crowell.
Donaldson's floater misses. That bucket for Wisconsin ended a 7+ minute drought without a field goal. Blackwell looking for more inside. He's fouled.
John Blackwell in transition is looking to put super amounts of pressure on your defense. He's getting that thing, and he is going. Here's this pass by Blackwell. Jump stop under control. Vlad Golden comes over. That's really well done by a guy that's playing point guard for the first time in his college career this season.
1-1 one. They call that on the floor, and he missed the front end. Long rebound. Gale could not save it, or could he? He did. Last off of Amos, and it'll go to Michigan. Kaysen will check in for Gale. So it'll be Donaldson, Kaysen, Burnett, Golden, and Walters, the 5 for Michigan.
Both offenses struggling here. Wisconsin won for their last 9. Michigan won for their last 7.
Golden at the top. Now it's Burnett. More than capable as a scorer himself. He'll just go right into Blackwell, blocked. Crowell says, give me that. And it'll stay here with 11 on the shot clock. Golden looks like he's a little bit shaken up after the play.
On drop coverage, Steven Crowell just hanging around right there. You can see Golden gets whacked in the face.
So Donaldson will inbound with 11 to shoot. In for Golden, just floats it right up over the top, missed it, and Burnett is fouled. It's going to be Blackwell picking it up, and that'll be the 6th team foul against Wisconsin.
I think Nimari Burnett is a guy that deserves to play well this year. You know, last year it had to be tough watching Alabama go to the Final Four. Clearly not the season Michigan wanted to have. He's been really good in a lot of ways this season.
Walters comes up short. McGee snares it.
That barely got above the rim there.
Michigan has now missed 7 in a row. The teams have just gone on scoring droughts. It's allowed the other team to pull back in front. Wisconsin looking to take advantage here. Crowell around, McGee off the screen. McGee inside, floats it up, short, rebound, batted, out of bounds. And it'll stay here.
Those are the shots that Michigan, they're playing drop coverage as well. They're looking to give up those shots in the mid-range. Kamari McGee had just an unbelievable tournament in West Virginia, but I think that if you're looking at the scouting report and you're saying who can we make shoot mid-range jumpers, McGee would be high on that list.
He's shown legit improvements as a scorer this year. Has shot the ball well from 3, 53%. But that's not his game necessarily.
The shots he made at the end of that win against Pitt, I mean, it's big-time shots. He's a big leader for this group. Really good player, but I think that if you're Michigan, you're going to live with him taking semi-contested floaters in the lane.
Both of these offenses have played exceptionally well, especially of late coming into the night, but so far have struggled in this game. Klesman, just a tough bucket.
That counts because Kaysen is right there with him step for step. And for a guy in Max Klesman whose offense has struggled, that's a really tough shot.
Wisconsin averaging 85.3 points per game. Michigan at 80.9 through their first 8 and 7 games respectively. Only 3.5 to play in this first half. Golden with a post touch. Back down on Winter. Hedge from
good high hands.
Yeah, Klesman with the help, and then Blackwell with a steal. Blackwell on the outside. The freshman Kaysen steps up. 20 to shoot. Winter. See how much they spread the floor here. Amos. Winter around. McGee. 8 to shoot. McGee bounce. Winter slam.
There you get Golden coming up to contest that mid-range. And because of that, you got the big fella, Nolan Winter, rolling right to the rim.
9-0 Badger run. Donaldson. Kick out. 3-ball. Walters missed it. Blackwell with a purpose. Oh, what a feed! Winter has arrived.
It's an 11-0 run over the last 4 minutes, and Wisconsin making things happen in transition. John Blackwell is living downhill, and Nolan Winter is out here hanging on rims.
Xfinity halftime report. Josh Pastner and Jordan Cornette taking a look at the Michigan Bigs in their Big Ten debut. We're going to break that down. Plus a look around the conference. You got to see how that Northwestern Iowa game ended. That and more at the half. Noah?
Well, Ahmed, I think that everybody should be interested. You look at the final score of that first game. Iowa 80, Northwestern 79. Feels like a typical Iowa win.
Yeah. There, getting it done from 3, down too late. That's a big win for the Hawkeyes, who are a team that I think fly under the radar early here. They got a good amount back and certainly an intriguing way to play with the pace and the three-point shooting.
Important 2.5 minutes here for Michigan. Big to big, and Golden will be heading to the free throw line. Wolf with a nice find on the dive.
There's that big to big ball screen once again. It's such a tough guard because you see that as he rolls here, Winter's trying to come over to help. Not an easy action, and just not an action that you see very often, because when are you seeing 7-footers play pick and roll in college basketball? You're not.
So Golden to the line, 63% shooter so far this year. Not just an FAU transfer, also started his career at Texas Tech. That free throw ended a 5+ minute scoring drought for Michigan. He was actually roommates with Amari Burnett at Texas Tech, and now reunited here at Michigan in the starting 5. Golden with a productive first half, all things considered. He and Wolf have combined for 16 of the Michigan 22 points.
And Michigan going 2 for 14 from 3. Did not see that coming. They've shot the ball pretty well all year long.
39% from 3 on the season. Klesmit drives, retreats. Now he's got the mismatch with Golden on the outside. Screen, calls it off from Winter. Winter on the pop, around, McGee drives, McGee swings, Amos blocks, Burnett, and then Kaysen had it knocked away. A 5-on-4 if Wisconsin hurries, and they'll slow it down. Minute 45 to play in this first half. Amos leave it for Klesmit. Can Klesmit find his 3-ball at some point tonight? Blackwell, guarded by Jones deep in his stance. 12 to shoot. Blackwell, the fend off. Can't hit, and Wolf collects another board. Wolf running the show.
You guard Danny Wolf, you got to lock in on that crossover dribble. He likes to wheel and deal with it.
And Kaysen going to be called on the push.
We've seen Michigan's offense in the half court at times this year, Noah, get bogged down, and that's certainly been the case here. The 8 transition points on fast breaks. Max Klesmit definitely selling that a bit. Kaysen, there is contact. Klesmit selling it to the refs, and we're going the other way.
Around the horn and inside. Crowell back down on Golden. Just can't move him. Amos long strides, and Wolf has another rejection. Kaysen on the break. Kaysen to the rim. Oh! The smallest guy on the floor gets up. McGee with a swat.
It's a block party on both ends of the floor. Danny Wolf continues to acquit himself on that end. He goes up here and rejects it. LJ Kaysen bringing it in transition, and Kamari McGee is just waiting on that thing, puts it off the stanchion.
Tough start to the night for Kaysen, who has played very well as a freshman so far. Burnett can't get the roll. Again, Wolf got a hand on it.
That's been another area where he's been really good.
Jones can't cash in. Rebound Golden had it knocked away. Then he got hit in the face again. Rebound still loose, Burnett. And it's going to be a whistle and a foul on the floor against Gilmore.
Yeah, last 2 games, Danny Wolf, 8 offensive rebounds in those 2, so you got to check him out. Max Klesmit going up there. Certainly Steven Crowell looks like trying to get the ball. He gets Golden in the face again. This is a physical game out here. Vlad Golden has been the beneficiary of a couple shots to the face.
Is that, you would call it beneficiary?
Well, the recipient would be the correct
that's
word.
fair. His face certainly does not thank the hand. What do the 5 fingers say to the face?
Slap?
Yep. Oh, you're all over it.
Dave Chappelle.
I had 0 doubts.
I've played horse with Dave Chappelle.
Have you?
Yeah.
How was he?
Well,
Who won?
We were on the same team.
Oh, you were on the same team. Did you have to play against Prince?
It was at the Target Center.
Previous rebounding. The previous rebounding is under review.
They're going to take another look at this entire sequence. So Brian Dorsey heads to the monitor, and we'll await the final word. So again, let's just look through everything. It's inadvertent contact from Crowell. He's certainly going for the basketball here, and then you see the foul they called on Gilmore was really just out of his control entirely.
That's one of those plays where it's unfortunate for Vlad Golden and the way that feels to Vlad Golden, but it should just be, it's a basketball play. He's trying to get the ball.
It was a double hit too, because Klesmit kind of grazed him initially with the elbow, and he was recoiling from the elbow and then got slapped on the hand of Crowell. So we'll see what they eventually come to. This was a fairly quick review. Brian Dorsey, Michael Reed, and Vern Harris confer near the midcourt line. Golden and Michigan trying to claw their way back in. You see 43.7 on the clock, so they do execute somewhat of a 2-for-1 almost inadvertently here at the end of this first half. And now Dusty May is going to get the explanation. Michael Reed goes over to give it to Greg Gard. Try to read body language of both.
Greg Gard does not look happy, but I didn't really think that Dusty May looked happy.
They're both
either.
hard to read. They're both hard to Michael Reed. He doesn't look thrilled.
No one is happy here. But Greg Gard is definitely not happy.
Yeah, I'm going to be very intrigued to see what this call is, as they're going to allow for Trey Donaldson to check back in for LJ Kaysen. Meanwhile, Burnett is still just standing at the free throw line, and Brian Dorsey is still explaining the call to Greg Gard. So we'll try to wait for an official explanation at some point. For the time being, it's going to be Burnett at the free throw line for a 1-and-1. And it's just going to stay as a common foul. So
I wonder, then why was Greg Gard so upset?
Maybe he thought that they'd changed their mind. That's not allowed, but he thought maybe they would. Either way, Burnett with another free throw to try to make this a 5-point game. This is a nice way to finish the half for Michigan. It looked like it was somewhat slipping away with 2.5 remaining, and they've steadied the ship defensively to keep this at a 2-possession game.
Talk about a game of runs, and here Michigan coming out their little tandem 2-3 look where those wings can get really high.
Reuben Jones, bounce it, now Gilmore, as Jones steps up again. 10 to shoot, 14-second difference. Klesmit, a bomb is good.
That's a huge one for Max Klesmit. Just 6 of 30 coming into this game from 3. Has really struggled. 27% from 3 on the year. That's a deep one, and maybe that gets his jumper going.
Jones drives. Donaldson, 7 seconds left. Donaldson, bounce, knocked away. Golden hits the deck, and a timeout is going to be called by Michigan. So 3 seconds on the clock, and give themselves an opportunity to find this final shot and get a good look. Quite like this one from Max Klesmit.
Well, off this ball screen, Donaldson's just late getting up. Michigan's back in that zone defense. The lack of communication right there allows Klesmit just to step right into this 3. He's a good shooter. Last 2 years at Wisconsin, 38% from 3. But for this year, man, it's been a struggle for him shooting. And in fairness to him, he takes some tough ones. At times, he's having to initiate offense, and he always gets the best defensive assignment. But good to see him step into that thing and knock one down.
Michigan's last field goal was the 7:42 mark. Missed their last 11 from the floor. Klesmit actually had an interesting quote a couple weeks ago. He said, he's a huge golfer. He said basketball can be a lot like golf. You're not going to stripe it 320 down the fairway every single time you step up to the tee. He said sometimes you're just not going to shoot it perfectly from the floor, but you can still find other ways to be productive in your game.
I needed him to be my shrink when I played because I was like driving myself crazy when I wouldn't make shots. You have to have that mentality, though.
And now a foul on Klesmit, just got tangled up with Gale. So with 3 seconds left.
Well, you're just giving points away. And Klesmit just kind of hugged him here. You put your hands on him like that, it's going to be an automatic foul.
So Klesmit will pick it up, his second. allow for Gale to head to the free throw line. It's still just the 9th team foul, though, so still a 1-and-1 here for Michigan.
If you're Michigan, Trey Donaldson has not scored, Roddy Gale has not scored, you're 2 for 16 from 3 and you're down 8.
Yeah.
You'd probably sign up for that if you knew those were going to be the numbers.
Gale shooting 73% at the free throw line this year, coming over from Ohio State. We've seen what he's capable of at his best. Averaged 13.5 points per game last year, shot 45% from the floor, strong, athletic, great body control in traffic. And now Greg Gard will take his time out here with 3 seconds left to try to draw something up to finish this first half. Wisconsin holding on to a 6-point lead here at the Kohl Center. Back in a moment. Sunday night, a divisional rivalry comes to a head as Justin Herbert and the Chargers face Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs at Arrowhead. Coverage begins Sunday, 7 Eastern on NBC and Peacock. 3 seconds left here in the first half. Get it in, Klesmit. 2 seconds left. Klesmit's going to have to force from midcourt and come up well short at the horn. So Wisconsin with a lead. They're 5-0 and leading at the half this season, 20-2 last season, as they have a 6-point cushion after 20 minutes of play here in Madison.
Welcome to the Xfinity Halftime Report.
First Big Ten Conference game for Michigan and Wisconsin in the Kohl Center. Vlad Golden, Michigan Bigs playing well early on in the first half. John Tonje has been one of the best players in the country. 2 of his 6 points in the first 20 minutes. It is a 6-point lead for the 11th ranked Wisconsin Badgers in the first half. Welcome to the Xfinity Halftime Report. I'm Ahmed Fareed, Jordan Cornette, Josh Pastner. So if you're Wisconsin here, what was that for Michigan? They did not score a field goal in the last 7:42 of the first half, but you're only up 6. You happy or not?
You're not going to hang it in the Louvre, the offensive performance from either team. But if you are Wisconsin, you're definitely happy with where you are in this game with the 6-point cushion, because your leading scorer, John Tonje, goes out with that second foul. And all you do is go on an 11-0 run. And you do it with John Blackwell, his energy, getting in the open floor, creating things with energy. At times he looks out of sorts, but he always seems to make the right play. Really provided some juice for this group. And you heard it from Robbie Hummel on the broadcast, who always does a magnificent job. Max Klesmit hitting that 3-ball just before the break could be a turning point for a shooter who's very skilled and struggling a little bit. Adds another piece to this explosive offense. Could be great things in the second half.
Yeah, when you get in conference play, everything gets tightened. The stats get thrown out the window a little bit, and everything just gets tightened up. The players, because it's a conference game, so it's a little bit different. Games are won or lost a lot of times in the last 2 minutes of the half and last 2 minutes of the game.
Sure.
That last base out of bounds that Dusty made called timeout, and they had a play where Wisconsin fouled them, and instead of going up 8 in the half, only going up 6. That's a big deal for Michigan. That was a bad foul by Wisconsin. We'll see if that hurts them later on in the second half.
No player in this game has scored double figures yet. Danny Wolf, the closest, with 9 points. The Michigan bigs, the 2 7-footers, what have you seen from them in the first half?
A lot of people, can you play the 2 bigs together, and this, especially in this day and age with the spacing 5-man, but with Golden and Danny Wolf, you can see it right here. Look at the pick and roll. Golden's open. They were slow recovery in Wisconsin. 2 to the ball. Left and wide open there. Look at Golden's defense there. Just on Tonje, one of the best scorers in the country. His size affected that play, which allowed them to then get a missed shot.
Late contest, too.
A late contest. And then here, big to big. Danny Wolf's literally running the point here. Vlad Golden gets the screen, so it's a big to big ball screen. And then right over, they get a foul on Wisconsin. Those things are hard to guard.
And Danny Wolf seems very comfortable in a Michigan uniform. They're not checking him outside. Fully capable, shoots about 34% from 3. Makes him pay there. Then again, how about the big fella? Not giving up on the play. Wasn't there right away, help side? The athleticism, the quick, explosive nature, blocks the shot. He's had a few of those in that first half.
So if you're Dusty May, what are you saying to your guys?
Well, I'm in a good spot if I'm Dusty May. I mean, they have not played well. They haven't shot the ball well. They haven't been good offensively. My 2 bigs, I think, are doing a nice job. But we're only down 6. I'm telling you, that foul on Wisconsin late was big for Michigan.
I know this game is going to come down to the final second because every single Big Ten Conference game so far this year on Peacock has come down to the final second. Did you miss this one? Well, if you did, that's bad news because it was a great game. But we got great news for you. We got the highlights. A buzzer beater in Iowa City. We'll show you how it all went down coming up next. Some Big Ten teams in action, including Indiana. Kind of been a disappointing start to the season for them. This is a feel-good game against Sam Houston. Luke Goody with a 3 here.
Yeah, this wasn't feel good for Luke Goody. He had 5 of these in this game, and you can see right down here, Sam Houston State trying to press, but they make him pay by not trying to slow it down, but attack, and then Luke Goody hits another 3, and then another 3 for Luke Goody. You hear his name a lot in this highlights.
Found a shooter, at least in the first half of this one, and then it is Malik Renew getting in on the action.
Put together a string of good games coming off that dud versus Gonzaga and that blowout loss in Maui in that 7th place game, big to big. Size is going to be huge for this Indiana team. Bigger than all that, it was a business-like performance on their home floor in Bloomington. And let me tell you what, you needed to see that from the Hoosiers to start to believe, because there's a whole lot in front of this group with all the talent they have, and it absolutely starts down low with a guy like Malik Renew.
And just to prove that Luke Goody can do it in the second half as well, squares up, gets that one to go, another 3 for Goody.
Goody is good at shooting threes.
Very good. This one is over. You see Renew finishing with 18 points and 10 rebounds, 97-71, the final score. The first conference game of the Big Ten season earlier tonight on Peacock. This was a good one. A good early start by Northwestern. They were down 17. They came back to take the lead in the second half.
Hunter gave this group great minutes when they were kind of toggling between him and Nicholson down low. He provided a ton. The fight from Northwestern, wildly impressive. Of course, Martinelli continues to be a lighthouse.
Gave a little help, though, to Iowa late. Some and-one opportunities, including this one with Owen Freeman.
Yeah, I just thought there's a lot of defensive lapses down the stretch with Northwestern. The whistle was a quick one. You could argue that, but Northwestern kept putting themselves in tough positions for these and one opportunities for the Hawkeyes.
So Ty Berry got to the line here. This was to make it a 3-point game. Misses there, so Iowa's going to have a chance. Now check this out. That's Peyton Sandfort. He sees this is not going the way they want. He's trying to get a timeout. Does to give him 0.8 for this. Josh Dix, the buzzer beater to win.
And you can go back and forth, and me and Coach did here. Do you put a guy on the ball defensively? Do you not? Coach, I don't think it would have mattered. Sometimes it's just okay defense and elite offense, and that's what that final shot was.
Well, look, first of all, Northwestern, Chris Collins, incredible second half because they were dead in the water in the way they played the first half. But at the very end there, look, Northwestern did miss a free throw, which allowed Iowa a chance to win the game, which they ended up doing. The heads up to call timeout because Coach McCaffrey didn't call it. It was a player on the floor.
It looked like a terrible time to do it,
and
to be honest.
And then Coach Collins subbed in Fitzmaurice, who hadn't played all game long, a 7-footer to put him on the ball in the length. Do you put him on? Do you not put him on? They decided to put him on the ball. Josh Dix got the open shot from about 25, 26 feet, nothing but the bottom net. The thrill of victory compared to the agony defeat.
These are 2 tournament teams. I know we're very early in the year. I'm a big believer in both. I'm impressed by both, impressed by the fight from this Northwestern team. Look, this is huge for Iowa because they haven't won conference games to begin the season in December. Doing it here, it matters massively.
Coach McCaffrey, we heard him early in the pregame show say this is his deepest team that he has had there, maybe the most versatile team, and we saw it at the end of this one, getting the 1-point victory. We got a second half to play in Madison, Wisconsin. The Xfinity first half stats. It's a close one. The offense has been at a bare minimum. We'll see if it picks up in the second half.
This has been the Xfinity Halftime Report.
Back in Madison, and towards the end of the first half, the 2024 USA Paralympic men's wheelchair basketball gold medal team honored here at the Kohl Center. Great ovation as they electrified crowds worldwide and got their due here in Wisconsin. Beginning a Big Ten play for these two teams. One half in the books. Glad to have you back here courtside. No Eagle, Robbie Hummel. Should be a fun second half. We had a close first half. It was rocky in terms of the shooting for both teams, but Wisconsin really a balanced effort to pull out in front.
Yeah, not the prettiest offensive basketball that we're going to see all year, but the balance for Wisconsin certainly stood out. You look at who's been able to do the damage for them. Klesmit with 6, Blackwell with 6, Nolan Winter with 6. John Tonje battled some foul trouble, only played 13 minutes. He also has 6 points. Wisconsin did not shoot the basketball well, just 3 of 11 from 3. But the defensive effort they've had on the Michigan Wolverines, the Michigan guards really struggling.
See the balanced attack. Time now for big shots, brought to you by Xfinity. 6-6-6-6. Tonje, Klesmit, Blackwell, and Winter all delivering there. Wisconsin actually outscored Michigan 13-6 after Tonje picked up his second foul, and despite only being down 6 without a field goal for the final 7:41, shooting 7 for 33 overall and 2 for 16 from 3. Michigan is very much alive, and if they can turn it up offensively and make some of those open shots, this game can turn in a hurry.
Well, no, their guards, 1 of 13 from the field. Donaldson, Burnett, and Gale, they've got to play better.
Brow can't hit on the opening 3 now. Michigan with a chance to get some points on the board quickly in the second half. Can Donaldson find his rhythm? He's been much better in the second half this year. 8.3 points per game on 61% shooting from the floor and 60% in the second 20 minutes of games. 10 to shoot in for Golden. Back down on Winter. Golden all the way in for 2.
Well, Wisconsin switched that big on big ball screen, and Nolan Winter just isn't going to be able to provide the same level of physicality to Vlad Golden there. Golden taking that switch and taking advantage.
Winter, handed, Klesmit, 3 ball, not there. Rebound in traffic to Golden. Wolf running the floor. Gale loads up the 3 and knocks it down.
Well, what a luxury, though, to have Danny Wolf leading that break. Little dribble handoff for Roddy Gale. Wisconsin just a little casual going under, and Roddy Gale showing some signs of life.
I know it's shocking, but Will Cheddar is leading a defense chant on the Michigan bench right now. Tonje, oh, that was sneaky. It'll shoot 2.
Wait, John Tonje just grinds you. I mean, he gets to your body, and he is just going to grind down dribble drives. Earns a trip to the foul line here, and with him and those 2 fouls in the first half, didn't make a whole lot of time for him to find his way in this second.
So Burnett will pick up his first. Tonje back to the free throw line where he went 4, or make it 1 for 2. Yes, 1 for 2. That's why you don't second guess yourself. Just you go with your gut the first time. Generally gives you the right answer. 22.9 points per game. He's coming off a 22.5 rebound performance against Chicago State, where he went 9 for 10 at the charity stripe. 6-year senior after the medical red shirt and his lone season last year at Missouri, playing just 8 games. He's known as the dad of the team, and he has brought that vibe and energy. Oh, steal! Winter, cookies, and milk! The swipe and slam gets this back to 5. More energetic start for both teams in the second half. Wolf on the attack. Bounce it inside for Golden. Back down on Crowd. Golden going right to work for 2. No. In and out. Pop to the outside. Tonje. Klesmit hits the deck. Tonje in attack mode. Bounce it. Intercepted.
Gale got back in that play.
Gale swing. Right back to Golden in, and a foul. Blackwell was the last line of defense. He'll pick it up.
Well, both teams finding things in transition here. Take a look. Nolan Winter right here playing a little bit of possum. He is just going to slow play this and then shoot right through. Not good enough from Trey Donaldson. Danny Wolf not holding him off. Nolan Winter getting the dunk in transition, then Michigan bringing it right back. Vlad Golden at the line. Michigan taking advantage of the Wisconsin miscue.
Golden's done a nice job of getting himself to the free throw line, as has Wolf. Wolf 2 for 2. Golden now is 4 for 5 at the charity stripe. And Michigan as a team, 11 of 13, actually a better percentage than Wisconsin, who's 11 of 15. 73% for a team that shoots 86.4 on the season.
Leading the country.
Back to a one-possession game. Crowell on the outside. Tonje shakes free. Tonje drives baseline. Bounce it outside. Winter, no hesitation. Burnett the board. Up ahead for Donaldson. He starts looking for his own shot at some point. Wolf barrels through and he's fouled.
Any action that you can get Danny Wolf with a full head of steam like that, good luck to any big in the Big Ten Conference trying to contain the bounce. Wolf just putting the onus here on the officials. Nolan Winter trying to move his feet. The new rules, it's so hard to draw charges these days. Wolf just making an aggressive play, getting downhill.
Donaldson in for Burnett. Outside Golden. He'll just slowly take his time on Crowell. Long strides, can't bank it in. And the rebound knocked out of bounds by Wisconsin.
But Golden's got to have some big hands. The way he's waving this ball around is it's like Michael Jordan used to do, where he'd just wave that thing.
I mean, he is 7'1",
But
250.
watch the way he's palming. I mean, that is like, that's...
They just saw a replay here at Kohl Center. Oh, the hook inside from Wolf, and Golden continues to make the rim pay. It's a Russian rim rattler.
Wisconsin continues to have some issues guarding that big-on-big pick and roll. It's got to be a switch, and it's got to be an aggressive one.
Donaldson nearly had the steal. Now an advantage. We'll slow it down. Half the shot clock gone for Klesmit. Crowell keeps his eyes up. Tonje sets the feet and hits the three.
He can score in a variety of ways. Gets to the line, can make it from three, gets to the rim. John Tonje's a hooper, man.
Carter Gilmore will check in next dead ball for Wisconsin. Wolf looking for the response. It's there.
That time Winter anticipating that switch. He backs off just a little bit. And Danny Wolf steps back and drills it from three.
And he's looking towards that Wisconsin bench after the fact. Maybe a little chatter with the Badgers. 4 minutes gone by in this second half, and both teams shooting it much more effectively than we saw the first 20 minutes. Tonje swinging, Crowell around. Klesmit's three, short. And the rebound secured by Wolf.
But Danny Wolf's fingerprints are all over this game right now. It's good in the first half, and boy, he is out here getting his game on in the second.
Golden finishes.
And he sets that up. The way he gets downhill there, that initial surge, and then the duck in from Vlad Golden. Danny Wolf is just making plays all over the place.
12.7 rebounds, 3 assists for the big man. Tonje just fending off on his way to the paint. Squeezes between, doesn't matter. 2 more for Tonje.
You got Gale right there, you got Danny Wolf right there. It just didn't matter. John Tonje willing himself to the rim.
This has picked up substantially. Wolf inside Golden.
Wisconsin, it's just got to be talked down. If there's contact, it's a switch. Now you got to get underneath Golden. But Danny Wolf and Vlad Golden are killing the Badgers with this ball screen.
And Wolf poked it free. Now he'll run the show himself.
I mean, the handle for a 7-footer going behind the back, it just looks so easy for him.
Donaldson nearly coughed it up. 17 to shoot. Cross. Donaldson. Swing. Burnett's 3 ball. Short. Golden tried to sell the contact on a good box out from Blackwell. Changes looming for both teams. Lob it inside. Gale with the deflection. Wolf on the break. Attacks on Crowell, and he's fouled. It'll lead us to our first timeout on the floor here in the second half. And Michigan now back in front.
Well, finally some perimeter jumpers starting to go on both ends of the floor. John Tonje, little jab, loses Roddy Gale, knocking it down from the perimeter. And then we've got Danny Wolf putting on a show here, just stepping back and letting it fly. The Michigan Bigs are thriving right now. It's Danny Wolf and Vlad Golden, little two-man action. Golden got the party started going to work on Nolan Winter. This inverted ball screen has been a real problem for the Badgers. First inside for Golden, then Danny Wolf knocking it down. Danny Wolf doing a little bit of everything. He's been so impressive throughout the entirety of this game.
Brought Wolf in from Yale, averaging nearly a double-double this season, but you said fingerprints all over the game, and that includes defensively. Golden was the one who's leading the team in blocks, 1.9 coming in, but Wolf at 1.4 per game has had that interior defensive presence that has gone along with his really just versatile offensive game.
Well, I think his activity level, too. Goes to the glass, can get on the offensive boards.
Yeah, how many
always
back
plays
taps.
so hard. And if you're Wisconsin, I've talked about how the big on big ball screen's got to be a switch, but if you're guarding Vlad Golden, he can't just walk into that pick and roll. You got to be physical with him so that when the switch does occur, your man who's guarding Wolf has a chance to get back up underneath.
Reuben Jones back on the floor with Golden on the bench. Cheddar out there as well. Drive from Tanjay. That was awkward and he missed it. So it's Cheddar, Wolf, Donaldson, Gale, and Jones. Yes, Tanjay, Gilmore, Crowell, Blackwell, and McGee. Donaldson's jumper is short. He's just still looking for his own rhythm. Blackwell in transition, now he'll slow it down.
Surprising, with as good as Trey Donaldson's been all year long, but he has been more of a second half player in a lot of these games. Talk about the way he's played in TCU, Xavier game, Virginia Tech. He's come alive in the second half. He's got 13:41 to do it here.
7 to shoot for Crowell. Picked up his dribble. Gilmore already hit a 3 in the first half. Now Tanjay, he's gonna have to fire the grenade. A deep one at the end of the clock. Nearly panked it in. Blackwell vacuums in the board and finishes.
That's what John Blackwell did all year long last year. Just able to make plays when it's not even for him. Just getting on the offensive glass. Possession's going nowhere. Blackwell steals a bucket.
Now it's Wolf showing off the handles. And the step back three. Off. And the rebound sails out of bounds to Wisconsin.
It's been an issue for Michigan at times this year, closing down possessions. You got John Blackwell. That's not good enough from Roddy Gale. You got to be a physical rebounder. Go find a body, push him underneath. John Blackwell just stealing one on that trip.
The first thing Dusty may mention his team needs to thoroughly improve is the defensive glass. Gilmore, a little too strong. Rebound, Blackwell again for 2. Back-to-back buckets on the offensive glass. And Wisconsin back in front. Jones on the outside. Screen from Cheddar. Jones' 3. Rebound up for grabs, and Crowell has it.
Just don't love that shot. Reuben Jones, a guy that struggled with his jumper and a guy that over the course of his career hasn't been a great shooter.
Blackwell, money!
Isn't it funny, Noah, how if you find some easy ones, all of a sudden that basket starts opening up. John Blackwell with 6 straight.
6 straight on the 6-0 burst for Wisconsin. Jones, shovel, Cheddar. He cans it, a 3.
That's quite the answer there. Reuben Jones this time playing pick and roll, and they're in that drop coverage and susceptible to pick and pops. Great look behind, and Will Cheddar knocks one down.
Tanjay on the attack, scoops it up, and he's fouled. Oh, look out, Blackwell, that was dangerous after the whistle, and he appears to be okay. All even at 47 with under 12 to play.
Well, John Blackwell drilling this one from the mid-range. He's gotten on the offensive glass. That offense is coming along. And then Will Cheddar pick and pop. It's a tough guard. That drop coverage giving it up. Will Cheddar knocking it down.
St. Dennis Medical, America's new favorite comedy. Don't miss an all-new episode of the hit show St. Dennis Medical, Tuesday on NBC and Peacock. Well, it's getting chippy. It is the first Big Ten game for both teams this season, and it's starting to feel like it here in the second half.
Well, Blackwell goes down. Once he realized he was okay, he looks right up at Danny Wolf, and both guys start chirping. Blackwell not happy with falling down. Brian Dorsey trying to separate. Danny Wolf has some words. I thought this was a public school thing. Who knew that they taught those words at Yale?
He only did 2 years there. Of course,
Didn't get the full experience.
he just got the basic requirements, arts and
Yes.
sciences, as he takes a seat here. Tonje back at the free throw line, so Wolf will sit. They've got Golden in. As Dusty May has started staggering his 2 7-footers a bit more. Klesmit's going to check back in for Tonje, who's been more effective so far in the second half.
That's what I like about Michigan's roster. They can play in a number of ways. You want to go small, they can go as small as Cheddar and Walters at the 4 and 5. You want to go big, you got Wolf and Golden. They can play in a number of ways.
Cheddar leaves it for Burnett. 15 to shoot. Tonje's going to go to the bench with 15 quiet points. Cheddar short on the 3-ball. Rebound is staying here as Golden was dragged down by Crowell. Golden leads the way, all scorers with 17. 14 for Wolf, 15 for Tonje, but 9 of them coming in this second half, and then 12 for Blackwell. As Crowell picks up his 3rd, he's going to have to take a seat. LJ Kaysen in for Michigan. Can he get it in time? And he does for Cheddar. Cheddar, Kaysen, Jones, Burnett, and Golden to the 5 for the Wolverines. Good defense by Blackwell on the perimeter. Jones sneaks by, stops, feeds, Kaysen with 7. On McGee. Kaysen can't shake him. Physically gets inside, can't finish, and the rebound knocked out of bounds by Golden. Forcing the issue a little bit there in a 2-point game. McGee, Gilmore, Blackwell, Winter, and Klesmit, the 5 for Greg Gard.
Michigan just abysmal at the rim tonight. 2 of 10 on layups. They just have had some looks around that basket, not been able to convert.
Blackwell draws the foul on the rip through, the 3rd team foul on Michigan. Jones is 3rd. To look at potential foul trouble issues. Crowell on the bench with 3. Now Jones has 3 for Michigan, but nobody else with more than 2 on either side. Blackwell to fend off. Gilmore, swing it. Klesmit off the screen. 10 to shoot. Just shielding the basketball. Misfires there. And again, who's on the offensive glass? Bear hugging the basketball. It's John Blackwell.
Somebody on Michigan, Will Cheddar, very animated in this huddle. Someone has to block out John Blackwell. It's just got to be something where you're going to take pride in this, find a body. And granted, this is one of those misses where it's kind of right place, right time. That hits the backboard, just deads right below. But that's the 3rd time now that he's been able to get in there and extend possessions for the Badgers.
The 4th offensive rebound. Klesmit, 3-ball. Short. And the rebound, Gale couldn't secure it. And Carter Gilmore does.
That's why he's on the floor. Hustle plays, understands what's going on. The guy that can win you a game by not scoring a bunch of points.
McGee misfires. Kaysen with the board. Both 7-footers back out there for Michigan. Kaysen in transition. They'll back it out. Gale remains quiet so far in this game. Kaysen. Jab, drive, lost it, out of bounds. Turnover. One of those controllable turnovers that Dusty May has been trying to eliminate from his team.
Think about it, freshman, first Big Ten game on the road. Tough spot for anybody to come into and play well. And this environment's not easy in the Big Ten Conference.
Donaldson will check in next dead ball for Michigan. Blackwell around the screen. Gilmore, McGee, 15 to shoot. Now Klesmit with a touch. Klesmit driving, fending, kicking. Gilmore not there on the 3, and the rebound up high.
But that's the trade-off with Gilmore. Because he's not a shooter, Michigan just sagging off. Whoa.
Look out. Turnover again.
Roddy Gale thinking that LJ Kaysen is running to this corner, and he kind of stops at the wing. Miscommunication, and Michigan now at 9 turnovers with 10 minutes to play.
And a frustrated Kaysen heads back to the Michigan bench. Meanwhile, Tonje back on the floor. Michigan did not take advantage of the non-Tonje minutes for the Badgers. Blackwell on the outside, spins, drives. Blackwell is rejected. Burnett, Klesman can't hit the three, and Burnett there for the rebound.
Good hustle by Burnett. First on the ball, and then securing that rebound.
Hot potato, Wolf gets it to Gale. Back to Burnett. He'll load up the three. Pure!
That's quite the sequence. On the defensive end, he shuts that possession down, but then as Roddy Gale dribbles to the middle, Burnett doing a great job of getting away and relocating.
McGee inside for Winter. Number of fakes. Great job by Golden to stay down. Baseline drive. Blackwell lost it out of bounds.
Just this dribble drive. Roddy Gale getting to the teeth of this defense. You got Burnett starting top of the key. He ends up all the way on the left wing, getting away. Tough cover for Tonje to help on the drive and then recover to the shooter.
Haven't seen a ton of Jack Janicki tonight for Wisconsin, but he's on the floor now out there with McGee, Tonje, Winter, and Klesman. Wolf on the drive, caught up, back outside for Donaldson. Off the screen, Donaldson, hook it inside, Wolf the finish.
But the duck in there by Golden takes away any of the help defense. This job by Trey Donaldson recognizing that and hitting Wolf on the roll.
Tonje has come alive in the second half. Tonje spins, and Golden stood his ground. He'll stay here.
That had some like Harden on it, where he's just kind of putting that ball on the big and putting the onus on the officials to make a call. You know, just that physical nature. Tonje is seeking out contact. James Harden has made a living doing just that.
All right, did you get flashbacks?
How many fouls did I commit in the 3 minutes that I played against James Harden?
The limit does not exist.
Oh, man.
Klesman drives, kicks. Winter, 5 to shoot. McGee gonna have to make it happen here. Janicki forces. Janicki too strong. And again, it's an offensive board. Tonje open. Bullseye. Ties the game on the second chance. Wolf, the cross, inside for Cheddar, and they're going to wave it off. Foul on the floor before the bucket.
Wisconsin now with 15 offensive rebounds. You look at the Michigan Wolverines. Danny Wolf just watching. Cheddar whiffs on the block out. That leads to the open one. Tonje paying it off.
Follows an elusive assassin who goes from hunting to being the hunted. Starring Eddie Redmayne and Lashana Lynch. The Day of the Jackal, streaming now only on Peacock. Final 7:40 of this second half, and John Tonje coming alive in the second half, up to 12 since the halftime break.
You know, this is what he does in a very quiet 18. He's done it on 12 shots. He's knocked down a couple threes. He's gotten to the line 6 times. But John Tonje, this has been every game this year.
Get it in for Gale on the attack. Patient inside for the deuce.
Boy, good dribble drive there. And then Ronnie Gale just getting to the chest of Nolan Winter and taking away his ability to block that shot.
7 points for Gale so far, but he gets his team back up by 2. Janicki swing it. Klesmit 1 for 7 from 3 so far tonight. Hand it. Tonje. Pump. Matchup zone look again for Michigan. Klesmit thought about it. Bounce it inside for McGee, and he got it to go, and the foul. Wolf came over and couldn't quite locate the ball.
The evolution of Kamari McGee from going to a lightly used role player last year to a guy that is so important, 2 on the ball. McGee just making himself available in the middle of that painted area, keeping his head to the rim, taking on some contact, and now an opportunity for 3. We talked about how well he played in West Virginia. You talk to anybody on this Wisconsin staff, and they rave about the leadership qualities that Kamari McGee has.
Maybe more importantly there, that's number 3 on Danny Wolf. So we'll have to just be cognizant of that for this final 7+ minutes. Donaldson, Burnett, Gale, Wolf, Golden, the starting 5 on the floor for Michigan. McGee, Tonje, Klesmit, Blackwell, and Crowell for Wisconsin. Donaldson, bounce it. Golden with a mismatch on Blackwell. Double comes, and he's fouled. The question is, who's going to pick it up? And it's Crowell.
I was going to say, I think it's going to be Crowell. Blackwell was where he needed to be early on. He meets Golden right there, and then Crowell gets back in the play. Just some contact across that arm as he goes up.
That is the 4th
That's
foul.
a big one.
Yeah, so now Winter's going to check back in for Crowell, and we'll see how Greg Gard elects to play this. How long will he sit with 6:52 to play?
It'll be interesting also to see if Michigan goes right at Nolan Winter. He just hasn't been the same level of physicality on Vlad Golden.
So Winter officially in. One more for Golden here, who has played very well. 17 points. Only 2 rebounds, though. 6 of 13 from the floor. This is 8th free throw attempt. Came in just a lot more effective scoring the basketball. 38 of his 64 points on the season have come over the last 3 games coming into tonight.
There's no doubt he's really started to settle in and kind of find his way with this new group.
Winter hands off for McGee. Off the screen. McGee with Donaldson on his hip. Outside Tonje, guarded by Wolf. Tonje bounce it. Winter lost it. Wolf again forced the turnover over the defense.
What a pass.
Gale couldn't quite secure it cleanly. Back to Wolf. Full head of steam.
Wow.
Wolf hungry to the rim for 2.
I mean, Wolf hits Ronnie Gale in perfect stride. It's like a quarterback hitting a wide receiver on a go route. And there's that full head of steam again. Boy, he gets going like that. Good luck slowing him down.
Just enough English. 18 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists for Wolf. Give it go. Winter. Oh, man at the summit. Gale says, get it out of here.
It's a great cut by Nolan Winter, but it's even better by Ronnie Gale, meeting him outside that lane, going vertical. You see, man, that is a big-time effort. Going up there, getting ball. Meets him at the summit. That's a clean block, and it's off the foot of Nolan Winter.
10 Michigan blocks here tonight. They have been tough to get past near the rim. Wolf on the outside. Tonje steps up. Donaldson with 10 to shoot. He'll hoist. Missed it. And Blackwell with a rebound.
Donaldson now 0 of 7 from the field. Has not scored.
Blackwell right at Gale. And he finishes.
Blackwell just so physical there. Took his time. Wolf was coming over. Didn't matter.
Tie ball game approaching 5 minutes to play. Clutch time here at Kohl Center. Wolf back from Burnett. Screen from Golden. Wolf, cross, drive. Oh, creative! Danny Wolf, all the angles, and a travel. Turnover from Wisconsin.
I mean, there are not many 7-footers on planet Earth who are snaking a pick and roll and coming off it with some legitimate speed, going right at the shot blocker and just laying that thing up. That is an incredible play.
Was he even looking at the rim?
Well,
barely.
Yes, sort of. The side eye.
Now hold back down Tonje. He's feeling it. Wolf, spin, discard. Wolf, not there. Golden rebound, had it stripped. Tonje comes away with it. Klesmit picked up by Burnett. Now Tonje working on Wolf. The 2 stars of the night. Blackwell, 17 to shoot. Cross, drive, Blackwell, finish!
Got to the body early. Got to get back. Michigan bringing it.
Gale to the rim.
Boy, that was like the Michigan State of old there. Off a made basket, Michigan just outletting that thing and going right back at you.
That felt like a 3-man weave in a game.
Really, really fast.
Around, McGee, no hesitation. Splash! Crowd on its feet at Kohl Center. Burnett knocked away by Klesmit. Blackwell will slow it down. Now he'll attack in the paint. Tonje, extra. McGee, the drive. McGee! No foul. Rebound, out of bounds. Staying here. Under 4 to play in a 1-point game.
The offense is coming alive here late. The Badgers 5 of their last 7. Michigan 6 of their last 8 from the field. How about Kamari McGee again? Hero in West Virginia knocking a big one down here in Madison. The offense is coming alive here in Madison. Both the Badgers and the Wolverines making things happen. And how about this play? Off the Blackwell dribble drive. This is textbook off of a made basket, getting a good push. Golden outlets that thing. It's up the floor. Roddy Gale sprinting. The Badgers are jogging. And we've got a ton of action as we make our way to the under 4.
For such a sluggish first half for both these teams, they have certainly brought in the second half. Michigan leading 35-30 since the break, but Wisconsin with it, 16 to shoot, 3:36 to play in a 1-point game. Bounce it for Blackwell, guarded by Burnett. Using the body, Blackwell looking inside. Now he'll take himself, comes up short.
But a really good physical defense there by Damari Burnett. Never let John Blackwell get comfortable and forced him into a tough one.
Donaldson has remained quiet, but this is where he shines in the big moments. Outside, Jones is back on the floor. Gets it back from Burnett. Golden swarmed. Tonje got a hand on it, and Golden got it back. And then, what's the call here? Is it a foul or a timeout? It looks like it might be a foul against Wisconsin. And it is. And it's Crowell, and that's number 5. What a sequence.
You throw it into Golden, and then you just got total scramble mode. It could have been a jump ball there, and Steven Crowell just kind of gets caught up there in the mix.
Golden rips it back and hands it to Gale, and
But you see the way that Crowell has wrapped his arms around Gale. But he's got to understand with 4 fouls, I mean, you just got to be solid there. You start reaching in, and you're putting yourself at risk.
And on top of that, 7th team foul will make it a 1-1 with 3:07 to play. It'll be Gale to shoot it. Blackwell the board. Gale now 2 for 3 at the line tonight. Blackwell has had some huge plays in this second half. A couple of massive offensive rebounds. Has gotten aggressive getting it to the cup. Lesman still looking for his shot. Tonje working on Wolf. The drive. Tonje left his feet. Got it to Klesmit with 6 on the clock. Klesmit on Donaldson. Klesmit the fend off. And the bucket.
That is high-level stuff there. Max Klesmit has really struggled, but under control. Come to a jump stop, get to your turnaround jumper.
Wolf inside. Golden, tough catch. Easy finish.
The big-on-big pick and roll just continues to be a problem for Wisconsin. They have not been able to solve that riddle, and Danny Wolf has just dimed up Vlad Golden all night long.
Each with 20 points. Wolf also has 7 boards and 5 assists. As we approach 2 minutes to play in a 1-point game.
I'll say Wisconsin's not going to be the only team in the Big Ten that has a hard time solving that. That's quite the play.
Blackwell rejects the screen from Winter. Blackwell in the paint. Just zoomed it to Winter a little too high. Chance for Michigan to pull out in front again. Each of the last 6 field goals coming in the paint for the Wolverines. Another screen from Golden. Wolf swinging. Gale inside. Golden's all alone.
The screen by Golden set on Klesmit was big time, but then no one gets back, and Vlad Golden is all by himself, middle of the lane.
Timeout, Greg Gard.
It's just been a baffling mystery here for Wisconsin, how to guard Danny Wolf in this big-to-big ball screen. There you see, Golden gets him. You got Klesmit kind of in no man's land. Nolan Winter not getting back. That's an easy basket right at the rim for Golden.
Some upcoming college basketball games on Peacock and USA. Saturday, USF and Loyola Chicago, 12:30 Eastern on USA Network. Then next Tuesday, December 10th, Penn State faces Rutgers at 7 Eastern on Peacock, followed by number 11 Wisconsin at number 19 Illinois, 9 Eastern exclusively on Peacock. 1:25 to play here in Madison. Wisconsin trying to stay undefeated, 8-0 here for the first time since 2013-14. Michigan at 6-1, winners of 5 in a row, looking to start the Dusty May Big Ten era with a bang. 15 to shoot for Klesmit in traffic. Just forced one towards the rim.
Didn't have to shoot it right there.
And Golden now surrounded. Can he get it across in time? And he does for Gale. Tough catch in the front court. And he just stepped out of bounds.
I thought he traveled as well. And that pivot foot was certainly drug on the floor. I think for Wisconsin right here, you've got to find a way to get Danny Wolf off of John Tonje. If you can get a switch and then get him the ball, you see Gale finally secures it. That left foot is sliding all over the place.
And the right toe hits the line. Under a minute to play. Blackwell. Klesmit. A 3-ball. No. And Burnett the rebound. 45 seconds left. Just about a 15, 16-second different shot clock and game clock.
We're going to play this out. Man, Klesmit can make that shot, but Tonje's been so good all year long. I just think that you got to give him the ball.
Wolf off the screen. Out for Gale. Inside Golden. And he gets the roll. Vlad Golden puts Michigan up by 3.
And there's the perfect example of Michigan seeking out a mismatch. They get the switch. Blackwell is guarding Vlad Golden. And Golden off this ball screen just buries Blackwell under the rim. Great find by Roddy Gale. That's just solid basketball recognition by Michigan.
Golden has come through with 24 points tonight, and it's been the 2 7-footers. There's nobody else on this Wolverine team in double figures. 20 for Wolf, 24 for Golden. Now you shift to Wisconsin, down by 3 with 22.9 on the clock. You don't necessarily have to go for the 3 right now. You can get the quick 2, but what do you like to do in this situation?
I just think if you run some dribble handoff action, Michigan is going to switch with Danny Wolf. Get him off of John Tonje, because even when he's gotten beat by Tonje at 7 foot tall, he's still contesting those shots at the rim. Get him out of the picture and allow John Tonje to do what he does best, get downhill and maybe earn a trip to the foul line.
Tonje's been stuck at 18 points for the vast majority of the last 10 minutes or so of this game. He came out hot in the second half. He has been their #1 option through the season. Blackwell up to 16 points himself. Klesmit 1 for 8 from 3-point territory. Wisconsin will have to go the length of the floor here with 22.9. Badgers have scored at least 79 points in each of their first 7 games of the season. 74 against Chicago State. Michigan's held them to 64 with 20 seconds left. Taking their time to set something up here. Blackwell, Klesmit, pump, 3-ball, no, rebound Gale, surrounded and fouled. 1 for 9. Max Klesmit got a clean look and couldn't stick it.
That means he is now 7 for his last 39 from 3 the last 7 games. He slips out of this action, gets a really good look off that head fake. It's online but short. Max Klesmit just kind of searching for that jump shot. He's taken a lot of tough ones tonight, but that was a great look.
So it'll send Gale to the free throw line, a 1-and-1 situation. Remember, he missed the front end just a few moments back here in the second half, and now a timeout. 6.8 seconds left. Gale will be at the line when we come back in a 3-point game. Huge free throw upcoming. Wisconsin down by 3. It'll be Gale at the line to try to make this a 2-possession game and become the first non-7-footer in a Michigan uniform to score at least 10 tonight.
Well, for Michigan in that huddle, certainly if this foul shot doesn't go, fouling or not fouling had to be talked about there. That 3-point lead. I'm okay with whatever you want to do, but it just needs to be talked out.
They've got a foul to give as well. Gale missed it. Klesmit the rebound, 5 seconds left. Klesmit is fouled there.
That was well executed
by Jones. So that was the foul to give with 3.9. Do you still foul here?
As it gets into the front court, it gets dicey. If they're going away from the rim and you can take one, I'm all for it. But it clearly depends on the trust level. And this is a good timeout to kind of talk this over by Dusty May.
So they will take it here. Michigan does have the possession arrow as well. Got to imagine this is going to be inbounded just in front of midcourt. Let's take a look at the Honda player of the game.
Well, Danny Wolf has just been tremendous all game long, and this big-on-big ball screen has been a staple. But you got the mismatch you wanted. You got Black Golden going up against a guard. Roddy Gale on the recognition, and Golden making the biggest bucket of the night.
3.9 seconds left for Michigan. They have played this pretty much perfectly in the second half. You can just commend the job they've done of recognizing their mismatches. Now for Wisconsin, Klesmit is 1 for 9 at this point from 3-point territory. We just saw him get a clean look. You've got to imagine they're going to try to find John Tonje, right?
I mean, they're going to have confidence in Klesmit because he has made shots over the course of his career, but certainly Tonje is an option here. John Blackwell's an option here. I think for Greg Gard, throwing this into the front court, it just takes away the ability of Michigan to foul. You throw this into that front court area, and now everyone's so worried about fouling a 3-point shooter. You can find a way to do that. That takes that out of play.
It's going to be Klesmit to inbound. Tonje, Blackwell, Winter, and McGee are the 5 on the floor. Michigan rolling with its starting 5. Klesmit surveys. Wolf shading in for Winter, and he's fouled immediately by Cheddar.
It was almost like a hook and ladder. With Winter facing the other direction, it just gives the defense a comfort level of taking that foul.
So now you look to the free throw line where Wisconsin's been better than anybody in the country, but this is the big one. Obviously the first one in the 1-and-1 you've got to make. Do you then miss the second one on purpose?
At 3.2, I have to, right? Yeah. You've run out of time.
So Gilmore is going to come in for that purpose with McGee off. This is where not having Crowell really hurts, fouling out in this game, and you've got Winter, your other 7-footer, at the free throw line against a team that's going to have 2
massive human beings. Yeah. It's not ideal with Crowell fouled out.
Oh, he missed it. And Golden is fouled on the rebound. It's still a 1-and-1 here with 2.5, and Golden has missed a couple of free throws tonight. So not quite over yet, but he looks like a stone-cold killer as he goes to the charity stripe.
Think about for Michigan, if they do pull this off, Donaldson's 0 for 7 and has not scored. Now, granted, he has 7 rebounds, 3 assists. They're going to take a look. I think Carter Gilmore got popped in the face. Damari Burnett just 2 of 7 from the field. Roddy Gale's found some offense in the second half, but a modest 9 points. Here's this play. Yeah, that's a basketball play. It's unfortunate for Carter Gilmore, but that should just be a inadvertent contact.
You know, the other thing here, Rob, is that you look at what Wisconsin has done all year. 86.4% free throw percentage, and tonight 14 of 19, 74%.
Which for most teams is like
it's good,
average.
But
good,
the 5 misses in a 3-point game, you look back and you say those are massive missed opportunities.
And neither team shot it well from 3.
No.
These are both 2 teams that average right around 10 threes a game and shoot a respectable 36 and 38% from the 3-point line. But Michigan, the job by their bigs, Wisconsin's had no answer for what they've been bringing.
Big one from Golden. Missed it. Rebound, Winter. It's Tonje for the tie. Oh, man. He put it close, but Dusty May has officially arrived in the Big Ten. Michigan hands Wisconsin its first loss of the season, 67-64.
Well, Michigan left the door open, and Tonje gets an open look, granted from three-quarters court. This thing draws iron, but Michigan gets out of here with a win. Their big show out, and Dusty May win #1 in the Big Ten Conference.
Tonje's the guy you want with the ball in his hands. Dusty May now 7-2 versus ranked opponents, 3-0 versus teams in the AP Top 12. Our final score, Michigan 67, Wisconsin 64. For Robbie Hummel, our entire crew, I'm Noah Eagle saying thanks for watching Big Ten basketball on Peacock. Now we head back to the studio with Ahmed Fareed and the guys.
All right, thank you, Noah. Welcome to College Cool Down, presented by Discover. Ahmed Fareed. The guys are Jordan Cornette and Josh Pastner. Wow, what a finish. Almost looked like we were going to get our second buzzer beater of the night here in the Big Ten. So what do you make of that? Tonje, that was one of the few attempts that he had at the end of the game, because Michigan ends 4 for the last 4 on a 6-0 run over the last 2:30. Michigan closed this one out. Another
gritty defensive performance from this Michigan team, who's proving that they are tough, they are physical, and they understand the assignment. I mean, look at the percentages that they held this Wisconsin explosive offense to. Took away the three-point line. 6 of 27 is what Wisconsin shot, but from the field, Wisconsin was held under 35%. And oh, by the way, size matters. These two bigs, these two 7-footers the coach has there were unbelievable. Did it in different ways. Golden is a bully, and Danny Wolf is so insanely talented. They overwhelmed the front line of the Badgers tonight.
Yeah, well, a couple things. I think that end of the first half, when Michigan went to the free throw line because Wisconsin fouled them on a base out of bounds and went from 8 to 6, you might not think that's that big of a deal, but it changes the psyche. That was a big deal for Michigan, only being down 6 going at half. You saw Greg Gard on the sideline, and he was so upset his player for fouling on that. And then the late perimeter defense in the second half by Michigan to take away Tonje. They did a good job on guarding the 3, really good perimeter defense. But as you mentioned, Jordan, those bigs were outstanding. And Wisconsin came in this evening the best free throw shooting team in the country, 14 for 19 this evening. They didn't live up to that numbers.
I watched Coach and his Michigan team do it against Xavier. Gritty defense. They did it again here tonight. And in the second half, they excelled offensively, got everything they wanted, starting with those two bigs.
You wondered if they could do it in the Big Ten. Game #1, hostile environment. They did just that, and the man who did it, led the group, is with us right now. Coach Dusty May, congratulations on win #1 in the Big Ten with your new team. I got Jordan Cornette, Josh Pastner with you, Ahmed Fareed here as well. You talked about the environment, how difficult it is winning in that Kohl Center. What are you most impressed with, most pleased with after this game tonight?
We're most pleased that we didn't beat ourselves down the stretch. We were able to finish possessions, rebounding the ball. We took care of it at a better rate than we have most of the season. And so we just knew that when you come into this place, you're going to have to earn it, and our guys earned it. Our front line played sensationally.
Coach, Jordan Cornette here. I just marvel at understanding, having been in a locker room, what it's like when you have a couple freshmen or a transfer. You have 11 new faces. You're coaching at a new conference. We knew you could coach. We knew you'd have a dangerous team. But how do you have this group so unified, so fortified this early in the season?
Well, I wish we could take all the credit. These guys come from great families, from great basketball programs. They know what winning takes, and it's not an individual sport, so they're bought into doing it together, going to the hot hand that particular night. And it's more a testament to the character of who they are as people. But we have a locker room full of like-minded people, and that's the common theme.
Coach May, Josh Pastner here. Congrats on the win. Speaking on what Jordan said about the 11 new guys, can you talk about Wolf and Golden, just what they've done with the two bigs?
Yeah, they've early in the season, they were trying to figure out ways to stay out of each other's way. And just recently, we've tweaked a few things, and they've just been a lot more aware of what's working, what's not, and how they can play off of each other. Our ball screen angles have been much better. Danny's simplified his game, and he's playing at an exceptionally high rate offensively. He's guarding the ball, and I thought our gaps laid. I thought our individual defense was probably the difference down the stretch. Those guys are loads, getting downhill and drawing fouls.
Coach, congrats on the win. There were questions. Can two 7-footers actually function in an offense, and can it work? I think we found our answer today, guys.
Definitely did.
Well done. Good job, Coach.
Well,
Congrats,
if they're as
Coach.
talented and skilled as these guys, it works. Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
All right.
That ain't a lie right there. As talented as those two. Oh, boy.
So let's take a look at some of the highlights from, in case you missed it early on, John Tonje. We were talking about him being one of the best players in the country and showed the hops early on.
And you thought that'd be the launching pad for John Tonje to have one of those 30-point nights, but they locked in, they tightened up on him, made him work for his shots. But Vlad Golden, a statement play like that exemplified what they were tonight, the more physical front line.
You got Nolan Winter down low. So it was a 9-point game. Final minutes of the first half. Coach, you talked about the free throw. They made it a 6-point game there going into the break. And then second half, you got the Danny Wolf show starts taking off for sure.
Yeah, and Danny Wolf was doing things. I mean, he's a 7-footer, and you might say he's not real athletic, but he knows how to play and use his body, and he's nimble on his feet, and he's a great passer. And they were so good in the high-low there, especially from the top of the key, where you take away the weak side help from when you're not doing it from the side. I mean, they just kept pounding it inside there into the paint. 34 points in the paint for Michigan this evening.
You wonder how you shoot 61% from the field as the last shot goes begging from Tonje. You thought, oh, man, hold the phone. But you wonder how you shoot 61% in the second half. Those highlights tell that story. Points in the painted area, carving out real estate, playing before a catch, finishing at the rim.
Wisconsin 7-footer Stephen Crowell fouling out late was a big moment there. You saw Vlad Golden getting the easier looks down low as the final minutes ticked off. So it's 24 for Golden, 20 for Danny Wolf, and 7 rebounds, 7 for 11 from the floor. The honor that he gets tonight is talking with our guys who called the game. Noah?
All right, Ahmed. Well, I'm just glad that everybody's sitting down because that would have been really rough for me. So a fun game overall, certainly in the second half. And Danny, this second half for you guys was thoroughly impressive. What do you feel like really worked down the stretch, especially with you and Vlad?
Yeah, I think just coaches trusted us in that pick and roll. It's not that often you see 2 7-footers in a pick and roll, and just my coach's trust and belief in me and Vlad, just the guys around us, and putting us in those situations just makes it so easy to succeed. And we just went with what was working, and we just stuck at it, and it proved to be successful.
We were talking about this before we came on camera. Did you play pick and roll growing up? You're so natural at it, and it's just so unusual to see a 7-footer look like he's been doing this for his whole life.
Yeah, I don't really know if I ever came off pick and rolls. I mean, sometimes inverted, but nothing with another big. So just really worked at it relentlessly over the last 4 or 5 months that we've been here, and coaches believe in us, and yeah, it's pretty fun to do it as well. So it's great.
Yeah, look, first Big Ten game for you, first Big Ten game as a head coach for Dusty May. What is it about his coaching style that's really gelled with this team so far this year?
Yeah, I think it's just the trust they put in us players. Through the ebbs and flows, ups and downs, the coaches stick with us and just stick with what we want to do, and we don't change things up. And it's just been great, and they're just so personable and relatable, and they sympathize, they empathize with us when we're down, and then just know how to get us back up. And it's easy playing for a staff like that just has so much true belief in each other.
We saw your offensive ability last year in the Ivy League at Yale, but I think there was questions on how you would guard, and those questions have been answered. Why have you been able to come in here and switch 4 ways and guard guards?
Yeah, I said this in a presser last week after I went against Xavier. I think Coach May believed in me more than I believed in. He believed in me more than I believed in myself defensively, and I just worked in the weight room relentlessly this summer and just trusted my coaches and what they want me to do defensively, and stuck with it. And I just try to sit down and just guard as best as I can and just do what I can to help the team win.
Well, Danny, has paid off, man. 6 straight wins for you guys, 7-1 on the season. Congrats on another great performance.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Ahmed, back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Noah. So Michigan, who was picked to finish, I believe, 9th in the Big Ten to start the season, are a serious title contender. We saw that in Madison
Those
here
votes are
tonight.
meaningless, and that proves
Already,
why they're meaningless.
we're 1 game in.
And it's a quad 1 win that's probably going to stay quad 1 all year long, too.
I think Wisconsin's probably a little bit better than we thought in the preseason as well. Absolutely. It's going to be a tough year. Iowa, they could have something to say about this, too. We got the buzzer beater. We got more highlights for you coming up next. Get you to the other Big Ten game coming up here in just a second. Northwestern, Iowa, but another Big Ten team in action. That was Indiana taking on Sam Houston. I'll show you the highlights of this one. Good start. Luke Goody, Indiana, showing off the range, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely. Just nailed big-time threes. I've said it about Indiana. Did they get enough shooting in the portal? They've got enough good players, but that was an issue they had last year. And Luke Goody sure stepped up this evening with a bunch of threes. Goody's got to be good from three-point range every time they step on the floor.
In the outside game in the first half, second half, they look inside to Malik Renew.
It should be the strength of this team. They're not a guard-laden group. The shooting still hasn't shown up for Indiana, but where they should steadfastly be effective, high-low basketball. Malik Renew was really strong. Defensively, the effort was there. They got some runouts. Most importantly for the Hoosiers, this was a business-like evening in Bloomington. They sorely need to string these together as they learn how to win as a group after the lumps they took over the holidays.
Luke Goody showing it wasn't just a first half thing, spotting up from long distance in the second half as well, what turned into an easy win. Good offensive day for the Hoosiers, 97-71. They were preseason number 2 in the Big Ten, which means nothing.
What I tell you about those
I've learned that now. 6-2 on the season.
They're for losers.
Indiana.
I said it. They are. They don't matter until you go out and play the game.
They're fun for a while.
Yeah, they are.
This game was fun for a long time. Northwestern was down 17 in the first half, came back to take the lead in the second half.
Hunger provided a heck of a punch for this group as Coach vacillated between Nicholson at the big spot or Hunger. Northwestern provided a ton of fight. Early on, it didn't go their way, but they're a big group of versatile pieces.
So then Iowa needing to come back, got a little help from Northwestern, some and ones late. This is Owen Freeman with the first.
Yeah, and all with the body there, and Owen Freeman just big-time baskets. Credit to Northwestern. They were dead in the water in the first half, but they played the second half, and a big and ones late in the game by Iowa.
Still with that, though, a chance for Northwestern to go up 3. Ty Berry misses. Now Iowa, last chance, 3 to win, 2 to tie. Look at that. That's Peyton Sandfort calling the timeout, so they got .8. They draw this one up. Josh Dix. Oh, my.
It's a heartbreaker. I mean, look, I believe in Coach Collins' decision to put somebody on the ball. Even if you don't have him on the ball, Coach, I don't think it matters. It's just a high-level shot to win a game.
No, it was Joe Dix is an underrated player. I mean, he can flat-out play, but Fitzmaurice they put him because of his size. And if you looked on him, I mean, look, he was kind of angled trying to take away the corner or even the ball side elbow, which was the right decision because most plays happen to be that. Joe Dix got there, his 25, 26-foot shot, good offense. Or it's good defense, but better offense. That's what happens. It's a make-and-miss game.
Yeah. Josh Dix is a high-level shot maker for this group, and he's going to take Iowa a long way. He's one of many pieces that can hurt you, and he did with the most important shot.
22 points in this one. He was talking with Stephen Bardo after the game.
Josh, take me through that last play. You only had 0.9 seconds. What's going through your mind?
Just get a shot up. You know, we knew that we couldn't dribble at all. We tried to run a tip play a little bit, but, you know, I told Brock if it's not open, just hit me, and I'll try and make a shot.
You guys were struggling offensively in the second half, but you found a way. How?
Yeah, you know, we just stayed together every time out. You know, we told each other we're fine, we're right there. And, you know, we made enough plays down the stretch.
You guys have been battling injury all season long. You're able to heal up a little bit, come back home, and find the range long distance. Did you feel that at the beginning of the game?
Yeah, for sure. You know, we've had a lot of injuries in the beginning of the season, but, you know, we had a week off to heal up a little bit, and, you know, we were just knocking down shots, being unselfish and finding each other.
Well, go and enjoy it, big fella. Great shot, and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
So this is an Iowa team that showed now, albeit against lesser competition, Jordan, that they are a force offensively, averaging 87 points a game. I think that's 15th in the country. And now they just did it against a Big Ten opponent.
It's really important. I mean, look, it's so early in the season. I think fans watch this and go, what can you really glean? It's December. You talk about the net. You talk about important wins and stacking them. Look at just the history in the last 3 years for Iowa. They are 0-7 in conference games in December, meaning their first conference game the last 3 years, the first couple, they've been losses. Then they're chasing to get into the tournament. Didn't work last year. The years after that it did. The years prior to that it did, but they were up against it. To get a win like this, a statement win against a very good Northwestern team that will be a tournament team, to figure out a way to win when it was punch, counter punch, speaks volumes about this Iowa team that has a lot of depth, a lot of offensive firepower, but some toughness to them as well.
Yeah, I mean, this was the first real challenge for Iowa this year to open up in the Big Ten play. They hadn't played a great schedule to this point in the non-conference. So the challenge for them, look, they came in this game number one in the assist in the country, the way they move the ball, their pace, their tempo, and it just shows you how incredible the game of basketball is, that it ends up being a make and miss game. That's such the fine line. If Josh Dix does not hit that three, how it can change everything into Northwestern's favor and being 0-1 to 1-0 in Big Ten play. I'm telling you, from a head coach's standpoint, the difference of starting off conference play 1-0 compared to 0-1, the words can't describe it. Just the psyche of the team, going to the locker room, knowing that you have a win under your belt, being 1-0, again, is a big deal for the players, for the program, for the fans when you're starting off at a league like the Big Ten, where every win's going to be hard to get for everybody.
And to your point, Fran McCaffrey, in the 14 Big Ten openers he's had before this one, he's lost 10 of those. And so
it's also so crazy. And as a former player, I'm curious, how you think of this as a coach. Sometimes you just have somebody's number. Yeah. I mean, coming into this game, Iowa beat Northwestern 12 of the last 14 times they played. Northwestern hadn't gone into Carver Hawkeye and won since 2012. 9 straight losses there. Northwestern's like, we got him tonight. We got him tonight. But you don't. And then Iowa goes on and wins. It's just wild sometimes how teams just have other teams' numbers.
Well, we were talking during halftime. Abed and I were talking about the tempo. He said it's going to be hard for Northwestern to come back. They're down 11. That's like being down 20 based on their tempo. But credit to Chris Collins and Northwestern. They punched back in that second half. I mean, Barnheiser was really good. I mean, all those guys.
They need more guard play. Northwestern needs more guard play.
They do, but they defended at a high level. But credit to Iowa. They made big plays late. Yeah. The referees gave them the fouls, but they finished with and ones, made free throws. And then Northwestern still had a chance, but they missed that free throw late. Yeah. Again, the fine line between make and miss, happy and not happy, winning and losing, good coach, bad coach, sick to happy.
It's better sitting
real
here,
and agony. Sometimes
it feels better sitting here on nights like tonight.
A good win for Iowa against Northwestern, who Jordan has already put in the NCAA tournament. You said it just about 3 minutes ago. You said they're a tournament team. I assume NCAA tournament. You're not just saying Big Ten tournament.
No. You got me.
We got to take a break. When we come back, some other conferences in action. The SEC, ACC showdown, some power conferences going toe-to-toe. Upset alert potentially with Kentucky as well. That's next. We're winding down here on this Tuesday. We fire it back up again on Saturday. USA Network, we got Loyola Chicago in action hosting South Florida. And then a week from tonight, a couple other real good ones. Penn State, who has been very good early on this season, taking on those 2 freshman phenoms from Rutgers. And then Wisconsin back in action against Illinois. That one, the late game, the doubleheader, Big Ten doubleheaders continue right here on Peacock. Other action from around the country, some ranked teams. Number 14, Cincinnati taking on Villanova. This is good by Nova. Eric Dixon for 3.
There's going to be a lot of these highlights. You're going to hear Eric Dixon. He was fantastic. This was a big game, Ahmed, for Villanova, for their program, but also for the head coach, Kyle Neptune. This is an important game. They've played so much better since they, a few weeks ago, got beaten pretty bad by Virginia. They've been a much different team.
Buzzer beater, Jameer Brickus there to end the first half, and so they're up almost double digits. You go to the second half, more of the same. It's Brickus finding Dixon again.
Yeah, Dixon was outstanding. He's a lefty that can just flat out put the ball in the basket. He comes off screens. When he gets his feet set, he's really, really good, and he can put one quick dribble. He's one of those guys that if you aren't with him literally every second of the way where he's on the floor, he has that ability to score a bunch on you, and he had 31 tonight.
It's exactly what he did. 31 points for Eric Dixon, 7 rebounds to go with that. An 8-point win, a ranked win, quad 1 win as of right now.
Quad 1 win. It's a great win for them, and it's a great, as I mentioned, great win for Coach Neptune.
Syracuse taking on the number 3 ranked Tennessee Volunteers. My Orange. How'd they do, Jordan?
Do you want me to tell you the truth here?
Yeah,
You're not going to like
need to hear it.
You can't handle the truth. And I'll tell you what Syracuse couldn't handle. This Tennessee team who bulldozed them. I mean, they created offense in a variety of ways, up, and away in the transition game. 11 turnovers for Syracuse ain't bad, but what Tennessee did off those, generating 19 points, and then bully ball in this one. Plus 14 on the backboard, plus 16 points in the paint. Zakai Ziegler is such a great facilitator running offense. He feels like he's on the all Van Wilder team. He's been in college forever, but he's played a lot of winning basketball. And as a distributor, they just carved up an overmatched Syracuse team tonight.
And Syracuse does not have J.J. Starling for a while either.
It could have been 3 J.J. Starlings.
No. Wait till J.J. Starling comes back.
No.
Lanier finishes with 26. You see Ziegler there with 14, also finding his teammates with 8 assists. They're next at Miami, who didn't play too bad today. Number 4, Kentucky taking on Clemson. Let's start this one early on, first half. The 4-ranked Kentucky Wildcats in a battle, though. That's Ian Shefflin making the shot, but Ortega away trying to separate a little bit from the Clemson Tigers.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, this is going to be a hard game for Kentucky. I mean, they're still in progress right now. The biggest thing for Kentucky, they move the ball, they space the floor. But the one thing about Clemson's, Brad Brunell's team, is they defend, they make you play in the half court. You have to be a high execution team against Clemson if you want to have a chance to win the game.
Wasn't a ton of offense in that first half. These two teams are finding their groove, feeling each other out. It's the beauty of the challenges. Two teams that aren't used to seeing each other as that tournament feel. You're starting to see some high-level execution here in the second half.
Yeah, we got a game. Clemson, they play tough inside that building.
They're so good there at home. And I tell you, this group cherishes opportunities like this on the national stage. They don't get a lot of that shine in the conference. An opportunity to take on number 4, Kentucky. They're ready to play in this one.
Winningest coach in Clemson history, Brad Brunell, has done a great job there.
Heck of a coach.
They're up 5 right now. 7:18 to go. You see Shefflin already with 17 boards in the game. Still some to play there. All right, so that was a fun day of action all across the country, a fun day of Big Ten basketball. So I always like to end with what we learned. We learned that it's going to be a pretty exciting year. And I think we've learned, and you said this in the pregame show, it's going to be very, very hard for some of these teams to separate because it seems like there's a lot of quality in the Big Ten.
Well, I started probably with a headline statement where people, to start the night, where I said 15 teams can realistically think they could be in this tournament. Okay, people might think that's crazy. We watched 2 Big Ten games tonight on our air. I watched 4 tournament teams tonight. That's why the margin, that thin line you talk about between winning and losing, it was apparent tonight. Either team could have won those games tonight. Either one of those teams on the winning and losing side are going to go win a bunch of games. This conference is going to look like this a lot of nights. It's really exciting.
Yeah, and I would tell you that the great thing about the Big Ten is, as you mentioned, is the depth of the league, but also the excitement and enthusiasm to watch over these next few months, the competition to win a regular season Big Ten championship. Sometimes this gets lost in the whole ordeal about the March Madness and everything. But also, who's going to not make the tournament in the Big Ten tournament? There's 3 teams not doing it. It is going to be a fight and a battle, road, home. It's the intensity of what's at stake. Not every game, literally every possession. EPIP, every possession is precious. That's how it is. You look at these 2 games, everything gets magnified at the last seconds. But whether it's a late in the first half or maybe 17:30 in the second half, a play here or a play there, you have a lack of execution can cost you a game. Last thing, Michigan. Those two bigs, if anyone has any doubt that two bigs can play together in today's climate of basketball where so much of it's 5-out and 5-out spacing and the 5-man on the floor, Michigan has shown that you can play with two bigs and be dominant.
Pick a conference champion. You can't, or
Not
at least
right
you don't
now.
feel comfortable doing it on air, and that's what's going to make this season so darn fun.
You've put 15 teams potentially in the NCAA tournament.
This guy.
Clip that off.
Can we go? You
can
got
just
any
say
other
that you
clips
just
want to put
meant,
out there for me tonight?
You just say you meant the Big Ten tournament. You're like, these are the teams I think
Throw
can
them
make
all
the
in.
Big Ten tournament.
Can all win a game. I know they can beat every one of those teams in the ACC. You watching that conference right now?
I will agree with you.
They've got to fill the tournament of it. They got to fill it out with 68 teams.
They do. They will have to find 68 teams to fill out this tournament. And you're right. These four tonight here on Peacock look like NCAA tournament teams. Two great games. We'll be back doing it again next Tuesday. We got USA Network for A10 basketball. We'll see you next time.